Hey folks, it's Sam, and I'm talking to you about the full moon in Capricorn that's happening on August 9th. As you see here, it says calm mind, steady heart. Don't we all wish we had them? Um, and it's in Shravana Nakshatra, which is literally um, means hearing or listening, and listening to that truth beneath the noise, listening deeply to yourself and others. This is the real theme of this full moon in Capricorn. And as you see here below the screen, it also says Vedic Astrology Essentials. You can get some courses. If you go to that website, you'll see there'll be a link there for those interested in Vedic astrology and starting your journey. There are also very deep classes on Ayurveda, neuroscience, things like that. You'll see at the end of the video, I'll also show you that. But it's a great time for introspection as well, because as you can see, not only is it that inner peace and stillness being evoked, but even Venus and Jupiter, the two teachers, the two gurus, show this elevated sense of beauty, ideals. And they're in the sign of Gemini, which is about intelligence, discrimination, figuring things out. So those two planets have been close together for the last several weeks, and they're drawing even closer together in the sign of Gemini, where Jupiter has been. So there's a lot to be talking about today. So before I dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, get notified if you like this kind of information. Leave a comment as well. Let me know if this is something that you like. You know, a lot of the comments are often negative, so leave a positive comment. That really helps. So as it says here, full moon in Capricorn. Now it's opposite where the sun is in Cancer. Cancer is where we're connected to the heart, wanting to feel into the, a deeper state than just our emotional state, where we want to connect to that devotional reality. Capricorn is opposite that, where we have this rational look at our life. Because many times the reason we are disconnected from our devotion is because we're too emotional on the surface. So all of that potential is there in the sign of Cancer, that emotional depth, which is literally what we would call devotion in a spiritual sense, bhakti, devotion. But that emotional energy needs to be combined with stillness, silence, introspection. As it says, calm mind, steady heart. That nature of calm is Capricorn, and especially the planet Saturn. As much as Saturn is maligned as scary, fearful, something that we fear it on an emotional level, because on the emotional level, we want to be children and babies, and everything's going to be fun, right? I'm going to be happy, right? I'm never going to be upset, right? Right? Well, that's just immature. No, but it doesn't mean that just because we're afraid, or just because some things are going to be difficult, that we need to be afraid of it. Because when we do that, then we have no peace. Then we're just emotionally charged and trying to feel good about everything and avoid problems. When really, when we face things with a calm mind, steady heart, detachment, these are all higher qualities of Capricorn and Saturn, then the bad isn't as bad as we thought it would be. And also the good isn't as good as we thought it would be, so we don't have to cycle through all that disappointment. Oh, this is going to be amazing, and then we get the thing that's like, oh, this just kind of feels like everything else. This is life being lived through the emotions. Everything through the emotions are just this kind of feeling, but there's something deeper than that, and that's what this full moon is about. It's harmonizing and balancing the emotions of Cancer with the reality check, you would say, of Capricorn, Saturn, and the real steadiness and blessing that comes from that steadiness and that detachment. Shravana literally means listening or hearing. So hearing the truth beneath the noise, all the emotional noise, and listening more deeply to others and to yourself, as it says here. Right now, that's a bit complicated right now because we have other things in the sky. As you see, Mars and Saturn are now in this standoff. It's making it hard because they're, definitely fears and frustrations running high, because as you see, Mars is down here in Virgo, 7 degrees. Saturn is up there, 7 degrees of Pisces. So Mars and Saturn are the two planets of fight or flight, right? Mars is the fight response, where I'm going to get in there and fight to change the things I can change. And Saturn is the, I want to avoid danger, difficulty, things that are upsetting, things that I've messed up before. So Saturn's always trying to protect us from fears and things that are going to feel bad, just like I explained with Capricorn and its relationship with Cancer. Once we integrate those things we're afraid of, then we realize they really weren't so bad, and we stop avoiding them and then playing games and strategizing to manipulate situations so that we don't have to be what we're afraid of being dangerous, and often it's not real danger, like somebody, shooting us. It's imagined danger. Well, if I say this thing, then this person might not like me, and I don't want to feel that. Most of the time, the way we use the Saturn energy, for example, is not, and also Mars, isn't for actual danger or actual threats that we need to fight against, which is Mars. It's all emotional projections. This is why I'm talking. People sometimes get on me because they're like, oh, you talk so bad about the emotions. The emotions are part of life too. It's not that they're part of life, they dominate everything. So for example, with Saturn, like I was just saying, most of the things we fear, we have no reason to fear. It's just emotions. It's just, we're programmed to, I don't want to do this thing. I'm afraid of this thing because it might feel bad, when it's really no big deal anyway, right? Like, I've been doing some ice baths lately, right? There's a big fear of it at first, and you put your foot in there, and ice baths are very related to Saturn and Capricorn. By the way, Saturn and Pisces, very much ice bath territory. Good time to extend your fears with things like ice baths, right? But at first, it's incredibly cold. Your body rejects it, and you have to overcome a certain amount of fear, and it's literally a visceral fear. And again, but you're not really going to die, but you have to ease into it, and then you overcome the fear, right? Most of the time, we have these fears and vulnerabilities that aren't actual, right? They're just imagined. And then when we go through it, it wasn't as bad as we thought. That's how we learn through Saturn mistakes. So that's why those are big themes in this full moon. But the planet Saturn, who's the ruler of Capricorn, is getting kind of aggravated by Mars. Again, the same thing with Mars. Mars are the things we need to fight for in order to get strong, right? And usually it's just some emotion. It's some ego struggle. You said this to me. I'm mad at you. Da da da. I was watching some tennis match the other day, and one of the players, picked a weird fight with another tennis player over some gesture. Like it was really nothing. And it's like, it was weird because then they came to the net. His name is Ben Shelton, if you follow tennis. And then at the net, he kind of refused to even shake his hand until the other guy sort of apologized for the little gesture that he made. And it was like, and I like Ben Shelton as a tennis player, but I'm like, what are you doing this for, dude? And it reminded me of this Mars-Saturn conjunction right now. Like we're opposition, where we're a little bit triggered. And it's like, why are you letting that bother you? That was nothing. And it's like, you're refusing to shake his hand. And he's like, I thought we were friends, because they're supposedly friends off the court. It's like, I thought we were friends, but then you made this gesture. And he literally got all emotional about something in the middle of a tennis match at the very end. And so again, usually the things we're fighting for, which is Mars, are things that aren't worth fighting over. But Mars is where we can destroy friendships, destroy connections because of that momentary kind of thing, right? So this Mars-Saturn aspect right now in Virgo and Pisces, very much showing these kinds of things below the surface. And as I said, Venus-Jupiter conjunction shows elevated beauty and ideals that are also prevalent right now. Venus and Jupiter are in Gemini, which is the sign of ideas, figuring things out for ourselves, connecting to higher meaning and purpose, and making sure that we can explain the things that we believe in, right? And so they're coming together also very close right now, and they will be drawing closer toward the end of the month, but they're also very much a part of this right now, where we're seeking transcendent beauty, wisdom, inspiration, and meaning. And so that's also a big part of what's happening. I'll be doing more. I'll be doing some updates on these connections. And so if you like this, go ahead and make sure to subscribe and click and whatnot, and you'll get those updates when I release them. So again, this is a big shift right now. This full moon in Capricorn, very much a big part of what's happening in your life right now. So please, again, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and have a great full moon in Capricorn, listening to that inner voice, that Shravana, inner listening, harmonizing the emotions and those feelings of Cancer, where we have the Sun and Mercury, with the practical stillness, peace, and calm of Capricorn. For a limited time, I'm offering 10 hours of masterclasses, Yoga and Vedic Astrology, Quantum Vedic Astrology, and Spiritual Astrology Masterclass. These are 3 great courses that will really help you a lot. Now, in case you don't know who I am, I taught the Astroved certification course, Dattatreya Shiva Baba, in 2010. Ravi Shankar published my book in 2018. I've been around for decades. I've been teaching these great classes, and if you go to VedicAstrologyEssentials.com, you can get this 90% off discount of these 3 great classes, more than 10 hours, guaranteed value. You can check this out. These 3 classes will give you all the necessary tools to begin to learn Vedic astrology. Please find me on YouTube at Sam Jeppy, Vedic Astrology Teacher. On there since 2007, thousands of hours of classes. Also on Facebook at Astrology Teacher, tons of articles updated regularly, and I'm on Instagram at Vedic Astrology 108, ongoing updates and interaction.